Oh, geez. Here's my review of Seed of Chucky. Probably the worst of the Child's Play franchise. Well, scratch that. It is the worst. Watch this review and you'll find out why. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name's Doyle, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2004 black comedy slasher Seed of Chucky, released by Rogue Pictures, a subsidiary of Universal, the sequel to The Bride of Chucky from 1998. The film was written and directed by Don Mancini, who created the series and has written all the films except for the remake. And this, of course, was Mancini in his directorial debut. Now, this is set 6 years after the events of Child's Play 3 and Bride of Chucky, and follows a young doll who is now the son of Chucky and Tiffany, resurrecting his parents, causing so much chaos. Now, if you've not seen my reviews for the other Chucky movies, click on that card. That'll take you to the playlist and catch what you might have missed or see them again, because those other four were re-reviews in my since I never reviewed this or the other two movies after this, okay? So be ready for that, and, well, you know the rest. Well, let's get into this. Get this over with. 6 years after the previous film, Glenn, the benevolent son of Chucky and Tiffany, has a nightmare in which he murders a little girl's parents. In reality, he is living a life of embarrassment and abuse as a ventriloquist dummy in England. After being forced to perform at the International Ventriloquist Competition in Glastonbury and then locked inside a cage, Glenn sees a preview of Jennifer Tilly's new horror film, Chucky Goes Psycho, based on the Kincaids' encounter with Chucky and Tiffany on television, including Chucky and Tiffany dolls rebuilt from their original remains, and realizes that he is their son. Desperate to know his parents, Glenn manages to escape his abusive owner and tracks the Chucky and Tiffany dolls to Hollywood. He finds himself in the prop room of Chucky Goes Psycho, which contains the Chucky and Tiffany dolls. Glenn uses the Heart of Damballa, a voodoo amulet, if you recall the last movie, to bring them back to life. Chucky faints, but Tiffany is overjoyed and hugs her child. When a puppeteer starts taking Tiffany apart, she and Chucky decapitate him with a piano wire. Jennifer finds the beheaded body and calls the police. Chucky, Tiffany, and Glenn ride home with her in a limousine. Having witnessed his parents kill the puppeteer, Glenn asks why, well, they murder others, Chucky and Tiffany. As he feels violence is bad, Chucky replies that it helps them to relax. On the other hand, Tiffany, feeling parental responsibility, agrees with Glenn and forces Chucky to agree to stop killing people for the sake of their son. Chucky promises to do so, but crosses his fingers behind his back in hopes of getting Tiffany to shut up. Jennifer tries to get a role as the Virgin Mary in Redman's directorial debut, and after he tells her she is not right for the part and picks Julia Roberts instead, she invites him to her house. Chucky and Tiffany make plans to transfer their souls into Redman and Jennifer as Jennifer and Redman start to make love. Tiffany knocks him out and uses a turkey baster to inseminate Jennifer with Chucky's semen. Chucky takes Glenn on a car ride after driving Britney Spears' car off the road and kills her, which that was not the real one. That was just a look-alike, alright? An actor being a look-alike, alright? Thank you. They proceed to photographer Pete Peters' darkroom. Peters had taken pictures of Tilly kissing Redman and of Chucky jerking off. When Glenn tries to warn Peters that Chucky is about to attack, Peters bumps into a shelf, causing a jar of sulfuric acid to fall into his head, accidentally killing him. which I think that's probably the one good kill of this movie. Chucky, overjoyed with pride, believes Glenn did this on purpose and takes a picture to celebrate, much to the dismay of both Glenn and Tiffany. Jennifer awakens the following morning, realizes that she is pregnant, and claims Redman is responsible, but Redman denies this as he reveals that he had a vasectomy prior, so he can't possibly be the father, leaving Jennifer horribly confused. So Tiffany eviscerates him in anger. The next day, Jennifer wakes up only to find herself with a full pregnant belly, a consequence of the voodoo magic. Chucky attacks and captures Jennifer during a phone call. Her chauffeur Stan, serving as Chucky's replacement body due to Redman's death, is also captured. Jennifer's assistant, Joan, tries to help her, but she is killed by Glenn's murderous twin sister, Glenda, whose soul shares Glenn's body. Tiffany discovers this and smacks Glenda across. Well, not them, to bring back Glenn, who is horrified as to what has happened. Now for the ending, you know the procedure. 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, continue on. Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. After Jennifer gives birth to twins, a boy and a girl, Chucky has an epiphany. After years as an infamous killer doll, he finally accepts his circumstances. Disgusted, Tiffany rejects Chucky and decides to take Glenn with her. Enraged, Chucky throws a knife at Jennifer to stop Tiffany transferring her soul into her body and leaving him. But Stan jumps in the way to save her and tells Jennifer he loves her before dying. The police arrive, forcing the dolls to flee. Jennifer is rushed to the hospital but claims she wants to see her babies. Tiffany drugs Jennifer and begins to possess her, but Chucky breaks in and kills Tiffany with an axe. Before Tiffany dies, she tells Glenn not to make the same mistakes she and Chucky have. Devastated, Glenn snaps and challenges Chucky to a fight. Jennifer passes Chucky's axe to Glenn, and Glenn impales Chucky. But Chucky assumes it's Glenda again, but Glenn reveals it is actually him. Finally able to kill in revenge for his mother's death, Chucky soon congratulates Glenn, but he chops off his head. Realizing what he had done, Glenn suffers an emotional breakdown and Jennifer comforts him. 5 years later, at a birthday party for Jennifer's children, a nanny quits her job because Jennifer's daughter Glenda scares her. Jennifer lets the nanny quit, only to beat her to death with the Tiffany doll. Jennifer's eyes glow green, revealing that Tiffany was successful in transferring her soul into Jennifer's body. Glenn has one more birthday present to open from an anonymous source. When he does so, Chucky's severed arm is revealed to be inside, which springs up to grab him as Chucky's infamous laugh is heard as the screen fades to black. Following this is a closing montage featuring clips of the characters accompanied by a cover of the Bond classic One Way or Another in the story. So what did I think of Chucky? Well, at first I factually thought it was good, but now of course I'm realizing this film is just freaking horrible. Anyway, yeah, the film was a major dud, making only 24 million, and got dissed big time with chief criticism being directed towards its plot and humor, which, yeah, that's the biggest problem this movie has. It's the direction of its plot, in my opinion, and its humor is not really that great. Anyway, we do have Brad Dourif back as Chucky, doing the voice. Tiffany is once again played by Jennifer Tilly, who of course plays the fictionalized version of herself. Voicing both Glenn and Glenda is Billy Boyd, who most of y'all know him from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. He played Pippin. Don't worry, rest assured, I'll be reviewing the Lord of the Rings trilogy later on this December. Rapper Redman appears as himself. Playing Joan is Hannah Spirit, who recently, I think before this, did Agent Chloe Banks to Destination London. Of course, I know her best of the British pop group known as S Club 7. Steve Lyon plays Stan. John Waters plays Pete Peters. Let's see, we have Jason Fleming as himself and a Santa. Tony Gardner as himself. Yeah. There's so many others. So anyway, I do remember seeing the ads for it and see that Chucky runs the Britney Spears off, and at the end where it has Ray R, it says Britney Spears does not appear in this movie. And after seeing that, it wasn't her; it was just an actress, a look-alike, or something like that. Anyway, I just feel like this was just a major mess in one of you. The film got released on physical media, and it had the theatrical cut alone, and there was an unrated version which was just a minute longer. But however, it would be the last Chucky movie to be released in theaters. Mm-hmm. And it would be almost a decade before we would see Chucky back. After an almost decade absence, well, actually be a 9-year absence, Chucky was back in Curse of Chucky, and then 4 years after that, Cult of Chucky. But anyway, yeah, the story it just went to be more of a comedy horror than an actual horror comedy. So anyway, I just didn't feel like this was just great at all. So anyway, one more thing was Pino D'Annunzio. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Did the music, and I rarely would remember that because it's been years since I last saw this movie. I doubt I will ever watch this movie again. But in the end, would I recommend Seed of Chucky? No. Not unless if you are a hardcore completionist. If you are a hardcore completionist of the Chucky series, maybe a one-time watch, and that's it. No more. Alright? Enough said. Or unless you want to be drunk and what have you. I mean, like my old friend Derek said from his now defunct channel, Derek's Horror Corner. You know that channel's no longer with us. He's kind of gave this a D and considered that to be a drunk watch. So, it would be another thing to do if you watch it if you're drunk. Okay? That's all I'm telling you. So anyway, if you've seen Seed of Chucky, let me know what you think about this. I consider this to be the worst of the franchise. Do you consider this the worst of the franchise, or do you like it more than some of the other ones? The later one, the next two movies, or some of the previous ones? Well, you get the point. Let me know what you think about in the comment section below if you'd like. If you like the video, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of Curse of Chucky, where the series redeems itself. And because we're just 2 days away from the Chucky TV series, I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you like this, you may want to check out some of these other videos. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of another horror comedy. Well, it's more of a comedy horror, and that being Idle Hands from 1999. The upper right-hand corner is the back-to-back review I did for 2017's Happy Death Day and 2019's Happy Death Day to You. Or if you want to take a break from the horror in my view, or the horror comedy, blah, 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 go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my recent spoiler-free review of the new James Bond flick, No Time to Die. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya!